We're at Real Rise Conference in Las Vegas. It's day one. Things are just getting started. How's it going, y'all? My name is Jesse Lynch. I run multiple real estate teams around the United States. And on this channel and in general, I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to work with people who want to do things a little bit differently, do things on their own terms. So if that's you, come hang out for a while, subscribe to the channel, click the bell to get notified, that whole thing. If it's not, if you're trying to do things kind of a more old-fashioned way, then this just isn't the channel for you. I would just keep it moving and find somebody else because that's not what we're doing here. If you're interested in working with us, you can go to my website, it's jesselynch.co. There's a bunch of different information on that about how you could potentially work with me, whether it's on my team, an expansion team, or just joining Real Broker. And yeah. If you don't know, Real Rise Conference is Real's annual sort of brokerage-wide conference. This year it's held in Vegas, last year it was held in San Diego. I'm not usually a conference person. It's not really my thing, but I did really want to show up to this one. First of all, to see what it's all about. And for the first time in my real estate career, it's strange to be with a brokerage that I actually believe in, right? And I actually think is doing something really, really interesting and just has this next level, level of service to its agents on the agent level, team leaders, and even sort of more, boutique brokerage under the Real Broker umbrella. This year there's 21 different speakers doing a huge variety of things. There's different groups, breakout groups and breakout sessions that you can go to. It's all really, really interesting. And we've been here, 24 hours, less than that really. And I've already picked up a handful of things that I'm pretty excited to think about in a big way in the future, share on this channel and all that.
What's your house worth? What could it be worth? Do you want to list it on the market? Do you want to renovate it? There's report building. You know that they don't care.
We just got on the first general session, and it's so strange to actually be excited about the offerings that a brokerage has. I'm almost always kind of bored to death by the offerings that brokerages have. They'll be like, we have these really great tech offerings, and I just think they're like a snooze fest, right? I think they're very, very boring. But the stuff that they're rolling out here at Real is legitimately quite cool. I think there will be some things that I don't actually anticipate using anytime soon, but I can imagine being in previous situations of where I was in my career where those things would have been so nice to have and could have helped me maybe speed up certain things. So first of all, they announced what they're calling the Real Wallet. It's basically like a bank account that is tied directly to your activities within Real Broker. So they're doing a checking account and a credit line kind of situation. They can see how much money you have in stocks, both vested and future stocks. They can see how much money you have in revenue share coming down the pike, and they can see what your future closings are like as well. And they can potentially borrow you money based on those earnings, right? And this ties really well into what I think is so smart about Real Broker is that they create the ecosystem that allows you to benefit from their offerings and potentially grow your business. But then by using those products, it grows their business and it creates this very symbiotic situation between agent, team leader, broker, and brokerage. And then they dove into basically what they're doing with their AI program, I guess, if you want to call it that. Their AI, let's just call it their AI, which is called Leo. Leo's been out for at least a year, and in the past it's been helpful, but not complete, right? Not an extremely robust thing. You can ask simple questions of it, and it would find you things that would be a real pain in the butt to look up on your own. It can sort of do those calculations. But now it's become considerably more robust within Reason, which is the transaction coordination platform. It's basically the app that's the heart of everything that you're doing in Real. Now, Leo has always been attached to it, but now it's become considerably more strong, and there's also a lot of connectivity or like connective tissue between the Reason app and not only like the transactions that you're working on, but like if you attract an agent to Real Broker and the revenue share side of, you know, the Real Brokerage platform. And then maybe the most interesting thing that they're offering is that the Leo app is now connected to a client-facing sort of portion of like an app. But it's not an app. A lot of people have done apps, a lot of brokerages, a lot of whatever platforms have done real estate apps. This isn't an app. This is a text-based AI assistant. I think it's really compelling, and maybe it'll take a little while for it to get to where it's being used in everyday life. But I do think that when they announced it, I think there was like a real like, oh shit, right? Like, oh, that's pretty interesting. I think it's really changing the landscape of how can tech not just be like this supplemental, you know, thing. It can be like a proper assistant to a real estate agent.
If I just had one idea.
I actually really hate gambling. I find it very uninteresting to do, but every time I go to Vegas, it's usually in an airport because I'm not usually actually in a casino anytime I fly through Vegas. But I put $20 max bet on just some slot. I think I already said I'm not like really into conventions and sort of the rah-rah nature of conventions. It's not really my thing, not really my scene, and not necessarily like where I'm pulling, you know, the most valuable information from. But this conference in particular, Real Rise 2024, you know, I can't speak to the other ones, I haven't been to them, but I'm finding I'm getting little nuggets that are extremely valuable to me. I've written down like 5-word sentences and probably, I don't know, 20, 30, maybe, probably somewhere around 30 of these little 5-word to 10-word sentences that really is now equating to like a pretty massive to-do list where I have so much work to do based on just a few little sentences that I wrote down. It's kind of funny, one of the things I just wrote down, which is from the speaker that I just saw, his name is Dandapani. He was like a monk for 10 years and now he's like a Hindu priest, I think. But a lot of his stuff was about concentration and focusing on the right thing, which again, super valuable. But one of the first things he said is that inspiration is for amateurs. The rest of us just show up and get work done. And while I do tend to agree with that, I have found that something like this, I don't think I'll do too many of these things, but they just kind of course correct a little bit. And they just have a way of like putting me back into the pocket, right? It's like mostly I'm in the pocket, and then sometimes life just kind of like pops you on the pocket. But these things seem to, I don't know, just go, hey, dummy, that's the pocket you're supposed to be in.